Hey guys, welcome back, Ricky here. Alright, today we are comparing the Shapton Pro 320 and the Shapton Glass 320. Now these stones I have been using for quite some time now. I do over a dozen sharpenings on each stone before I can really give you guys a proper review. And so that's why these reviews don't come out that often. So I know a lot of people ask me, when are these reviews coming out? So I apologize if they don't come out, as frequently as I would like them to come out, but I really want to make sure that I give you guys proper assessments of these stones so that you guys, when you guys watch my videos, I'm not just kind of blowing smoke, or I'm not just giving you a review based on one sharpening session. So as you can see, even though this is a 320 grit comparison, I do have the 120 Shapton Pro and the 120 Shapton Glass here. And I'm not going to talk about them all that much. I'm simply going to kind of refer to them every once in a while to kind of make certain points. Let's start with the Shapton Pro 320. Now this stone here is a very interesting stone. So let's start with speed. In terms of speed, this stone got a burr with a push and pull method of between 2 and 3 passes. I think a couple of my knives I had to go 4 passes, and that was because I felt like the edge wasn't quite as consistent as I would like it to be. In terms of wear, I would say it's probably right in the 5 range, 6 range from a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being very fast wear and 1 being slow wear. So the reason I say that is because after every sharpening session, I pick up my stone holder and there is a good amount of slur, a blue slur, kind of a bluish gray slur on the bottom of the stone. And so that tells me that as I'm sharpening, I am seeing wear coming off of the stone. In terms of how long this stone will last you, I think this stone will probably still last you a good 5 or 6 years of usage. I wouldn't recommend you use the stone on a daily basis. So in terms of what hardness this stone can handle, I would say that the harder the knife, the better. I've found that knives in the 55 and 57 on the Rockwell scale just didn't work really well on the stone. My Wüsthof got a decent edge, but it still wasn't a clean edge as I would like it. As I went to the 59s and 60s, then the edge actually got considerably better, and the feedback also got better. So in terms of knives, I would say you would definitely want something that has a heat treatment of 59 and above, and it can definitely sharpen knives up until 66, at least on my testing. So it has a pretty good range of sharpenability in terms of what steel you're using. In terms of feedback, it's okay. I wouldn't say that this is a great feedback stone. Splash and goes don't always have the best feedback, and that's something that I have discovered just in my I don't know how many hundreds of sharpenings I've done at this point. So I haven't flattened the stone ever since I did the first initial flattening when I first pulled it out of the box, and I haven't flattened it since I've used it. It still feels perfectly flat, so I think this is a very good wearing stone in terms of not grooving or dishing too quickly in the center. Compared to the 120, this is something that I just want to point out really quickly. The edge that I got from this stone wasn't very toothy, and it also wasn't very sharp compared to the 120, because if you guys recall on the 120 sharpening videos, I actually was able to cut paper really easily with the 120 with knives in the 55 on the Rockwell scale all the way up to 66. And for the Shapton 320, knives up until 59s, they weren't getting the ultra, that really clean, toothy edge that I was getting on the 120. Between these two stones, I think you were better off getting the 120 than the 320. The Shapton Pro, even though it's not the best performing stone in this category or in the 320 range, it's still a very good stone, and it's definitely a good value if you guys have knives that are a little bit harder than a 60 on the Rockwell scale. So now we have the Shapton Glass. Now this is just a really beautiful stone. The Shapton Glass stones are a work of art in my opinion. So in terms of speed, they are hand in hand, they are neck and neck. But other than speed, they share nothing else in common. Okay, so this stone is in a whole different league of its own. Tactile feel is amazing. Okay, so for a 320 grit stone, I have never felt a stone that under 500 that I really enjoyed sharpening on. This is the first. All the knives were able to achieve a really clean edge from the low end, on the knives with the 55 Rockwell scale to the 66 knives. And that's something that is really fantastic about this stone. You have good speed, you have excellent tactile feedback, and wear is actually very, very slow. That is actually quite important for a stone that is only 7 millimeters thick. I know that if you measure the entire stone with the glass, I think it's closer to 15 millimeters, but the glass is 6 millimeters thick and the stone is about 7 millimeters thick. Coarse stones tend to wear a little bit faster than your higher grit stones. So the fact that this is a 320 grit stone that is very slow wearing, it is a really, really nice bonus to have. So between this stone and the 120, the 120, I always said that this wasn't quite a 120 grit stone. I always felt that it was a finer stone. I didn't really quite have a number to kind of place on the 120. If I had to give a 120 glass stone a rating, I would say it's closer to a 320 in terms of its actual grit rating. However, the tactile feel on the 320 is a world apart from the 120 grit stone. Now, if you were looking for a core stone and you were kind of deciding between the 120 or the 320 grit on the glass side, I would say hands down, go for the 320 grit stone. The 120 was okay, it just wasn't great. I didn't really love it. It didn't have the feedback that I really wanted. It had the speed and it had the consistent edge. It wore a little bit faster than I would like it to be, and it just didn't. It wasn't a perfect stone for me. In this case though, the 320 glass stone, it is just a wonderful, wonderful stone. Since I have all the 4 stones here, I want to just give you guys a brief overview of these stones. On the 120 side, between the Shapton Pro 120 and the Shapton Glass 120, I would say that the Shapton Pro is a much better stone overall. Tactile feel was excellent. It had just as much speed, if not a little bit faster than the Shapton Glass. It also is a true 120 grit stone. On the 320 side though, the 320 is hands down a better stone. It is just as fast, tactile feedback was much better, wear is also much better. It also gave me a much more consistent edge. The more important thing is, it is a better stone for knives from the 55 Rockwell scale all the way up to the 66 Rockwell scale. The 320 grit stone Pro is still a good stone. It just is not in the same league as the 320 glass stone. I was actually quite surprised because the Shapton Pro 120 really outshined the Shapton Glass 120 in almost every category. I really cannot nitpick this stone at all. The only complaint I'd have about this stone is I wish it was a thicker stone. Aesthetics is one thing. It's really nice to have a really nice looking stone, but I would rather have a stone that is thicker, that is the same material throughout, and would just give me 10 years of sharpening versus 5 years or 4 years, however many years that would take to wear the stone down to the point where you really can't use it anymore. If you guys were looking for a glass stone, this is definitely a stone that you should not ignore. I will leave links in the description if you guys want to check any of these stones out for yourselves. And also, I want to hear from you guys. If you have experience with the Shapton Glass 320 or the Shapton Pro 320, let me know what they are. And definitely want to hear what your experiences are on these stones. Alright guys, as always, thank you for watching my video, and if you guys enjoyed the video, please give the video a thumbs up and send me a comment if you guys want to see other comparisons between the stones that I have. If you guys want to know the stones that I have in my collection, just go to my channel and look at my updated video. You guys will see all the stones I have in my collection. And yes, I will do my best to make sure that I do as many reviews that is catered to you as I possibly can. Alright, so thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.